G'day, how are you doing? Hopefully doing very well, keeping you healthy and safe. I've been very busy, but generally pretty good on this side of the desk. I recently did the review for the Intel NUC 13 Extreme, and I was very impressed by the dramatic changes of the chassis and the impressive performance that came out of the Intel NUC 13 Extreme. That was a really great computer. Just the increase in size and the ability to actually get better graphics cards in that. Woof, I love it. Now, I haven't checked that review out. I'll put a link in the description below. Now, unlike the Extreme, the Pro version, which is the Intel NUC 13 Pro, didn't have the big major changes of the chassis. It still holds this nice little cute form factor here, just like its Intel NUC 12 Pro, which I actually also did a review on. I'll put a link in the description below. Now, it is pretty much shares the same chassis as the Intel NUC 12 Pro. Now, what I think they really just did is pretty much just upgrade the performance. As they say, if it ain't broke, there's no need to fix it. And I think that sometimes holds true. And I think this holds true in this one here. Now, it shares the same amount of ports and the specification of the ports is the same. So what we're going to do is we're just going to look into the temperature and fanners and look at the performance of this. This is running idle. And you can see from the USB at the front is around about 38 degrees Celsius. On top of the NUC 13 Pro, you're looking at 37 degrees Celsius on the top. I don't really feel much heat at all. And at the back, which is usually where the exhaust is the hottest area, and you're looking at about 43 degrees Celsius. There is no air that's blowing out here. And also looking at the bottom of the back of this NUC 13, you're looking at about 35 degrees Celsius. And again, this is practical silent. I don't actually hear any fans at all. So I would say 35 decibels. This is 100% lowered, and at the front you can see it's around about 32 degrees Celsius. And on top, looking at the maximum, probably looking around about 47 degrees Celsius. And looking around the back here, we can see from the back exhaust, you're looking at probably about 63 degrees to 64 degrees Celsius. We definitely feel some airflow at the back here. And looking at the bottom of the NUC 13, you're looking at around about 51 degrees, seems to be the hottest area, but around about 49 degrees Celsius. And as for the actual fan noise, you're looking at maximum of 48 decibels. If you want to see the difference in the physical size comparison between the Intel NUC 13 Pro and the NUC 13 Extreme, I did it in my unboxing video of this 13 Pro. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check that video out. Here's the results of the benchmarks performed on the Intel NUC 13 Pro. This one's configured with an i7 1360p processor with 32 gigs of RAM and 512 gig SSD. And here's the result for Pass Mark, Citybench R23, PC Mark, 3D Mark, Crystal Disk Mark, Geekbench 5, Procon Office, Procon Photo Edit, Procon Video Edit, Pugin Photoshop, Pugin Premiere Pro, Blender, Luxmark, Vermark, Eugene Engine, and Spec View Pref. F1 2022. Comparing the results of the NUC 13 Pro with its predecessor, the NUC 12 Pro, it is anywhere between an average of 7 to 10% quicker than its predecessor, which means there has been a bit of a bump up in performance with the 13 Pro. Examining the performance of the processor over a long duration of time, this Intel NUC 13 Pro is configured with an i7 1360p processor. And look at the Intel website, it reports that this processor has a maximum turbo boost of 5 GHz for the performance cores and 3.7 GHz for the efficiency cores. And it has a base clock speed of 2.2 GHz reported from Windows. And I've got quite a lot of load on all the system resources. So that's the processor, memory, and also storage. And that is over 4 hours. And I can see the speed of the processor is ranging between 2.8 to about 3.3 gigahertz. And that is above the 2.2 gigahertz, so we're not getting thermal throttling for the
base clock speed, but we are getting a bit of turbo throttling. Now, I would say this is an average of around about 3.1 gigahertz, and we can see that the core temperatures is ranging anywhere between 80 degrees to about 90 degrees Celsius.
Overall, having experience and looking at the test results performed on the Intel NUC 13 Pro, it is pretty much very similar to its predecessor, and of course with this little bit of a bump up in performance, as it's kind of something I expect from the latest Intel Core processor, which this one has the 13th gen Intel Core. I do like those 13th gen Intel cores, and it still holds this nice small form factor, definitely nice to hide this, and it's great for digital signage and also for a nice little workstation and just nice compact. And if you get a bit of minimalistic sort of desk setup, this is really nice as well. Now, I hope you find this video informative of joy. If you did, even support my channel, smash that like button for me, share this video as well, it does help me out. And as always, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting. And I'll see you next video.